to Jacqueline.
I would like first to say that I am not a doctor. So this is important. I am a practitioner of quantum biofeedback and bioresonance. I am acting mainly in Europe and everywhere in the world. And as those who were on my lecture the other day, I have adopted India. So this is something that is very important, you know, to act as where we are. So I am not a doctor, and I really make it very clear, and then I make it clear, you know, to my, you know, practitioner to whom I teach, to really, never forget that, where you are. And then I need to tell you that even if we are not doctor, we can do a lot by helping people. For me, as I am not a doctor, I have my portable clinical portable clinic with my device, you know, which is a quantum technology, a doctor. So this is what I'm doing, and people know. And usually what is important is to make sure that the people will sign informed consent. This is very clear. Some people will not want to do it. I always do it, and then always make sure that everything is clear. And then there is a very good place for people who want to be coached. And simple, you know, I think humility also is part of the whole thing. We don't want to take the responsibility of the client. The client is responsible also to do his research, and I am coached to help him or her to find out what is the best for them. And they need to do it. I will not do it for them, okay? So this is my little thought.
And
okay?
Let's put our hands together for Jacqueline Jacks.
Thank you.
Does quantum energy involve distant healing? Healing, yeah.
Would you like to ask anybody specifically, or any of my panelists could take that on?
Paris?
I think the basis of quantum implies distance maybe isn't the right word. In quantum, there is no distance. It's all one field. So point A and point B, there's no traveling between point A and point B in quantum. The field collapses and it's simultaneously in both places at the same time. So the answer is yes, but technically no.
Oh, okay. That's a wonderful answer. Thank you for that.
I am looking this from a business and marketing perspective. Like what happens is when we bring an innovative product to market, which is conflicting with the habits of existing market, or when we get a new product into the market which is not aligned to the existing habits. So it takes a lot of energy and lot of convincing and lot of marketing, lot of propaganda and lot of conflict. So I have been facing such issues inside my family also and outside with my peers, like Paul had mentioned here, different issues, like how have you faced these issues? I would like to know, like, because you are also doing a lot of innovative things, and how did you overcome these challenges, and can you guide me on this?
Well, this is a subject very dear to my heart. This is why I grabbed the mic. Yes, the question of economics is very, very important. And economically, of course, the answer is that we have to educate people. And reverse your question, actually. Education usually begins with the schools and people, the society, they educate, parents. But now it has to be reverse education. So the product itself has to educate the people. So here is where, again, that integration comes in. The materialist, just as the materialist medicine has done us tremendous favor in developing wonderful and powerful techniques that Don reminded us of, everybody has to acknowledge that gratefulness. Similarly, we have to be very grateful for the people, very profit-oriented, very material greed-oriented, but they develop wonderful techniques of marketing. And not all of it is bogus, right? Some of it is quite authentic, genuine techniques which help people to understand something new. So the alternative practitioners of economy have to hone on to these what is genuine about the marketing techniques. And it is possible, on the average, to guide the consumer starting from this end. It doesn't always have to be the other end. But as the founder of paradigm idea in philosophy suggested a long time ago, old paradigms never change, but they do die. That's long-term affair though. So right now, you have to do your marketing. Of course, we are ready to help whenever we can.
Thank you, Dr. Goswami.
One of the things in my relationship, my wife is the marketer. And so for marketing wellness is totally different than software. And what most marketers, most of you out there do, is you start talking about the features. I do homeopathy. I do Ayurvedic medicine. In truth, nobody cares about that. There's a saying in marketing, where there's pain, there's profit. As bad as that is, that's when the drug companies are using that, right? But in our industry, we want to talk about the benefits. So if you want to really do something, focus on the benefits. What's the end result of those actions? They don't care how you do it. If we had a holistic hammer and we could beat them over the head with it, we'd have a line at our door if we caused miracles to happen. You have miracles at your disposal, but you keep talking about the miracles instead of how the people feel, the emotional response. That's what's going to actually get them in the door. And personally, getting out there and telling your story. You know, you have a community, this is a community, you have your own community, really work that community, and then, you know, we found, I built a whole franchise company in America where we had 108 locations, all on other people's stories. Nobody even knew I had it. I have people still to this day that never knew that Dr. Porter was part of Positive Changes. That was the name of our company. Because I never promoted myself. The worst thing, it's not me. There's only one healer in the universe, and it's not me. That's too much responsibility. But if I can provide a space for people, I can tell a story about that space, just like what's happening here. You got a perfect example. I mean, we do have a great guru here, but it's really about the energy of the pyramid, the energy of spirituality, doing those 4 tenets he talked about earlier. When you create that kind of community, like what's happening at Quantum University, people get involved because the story. Don't worry about the features. And I think you're going to go far, you know, and really stay true to yourself. I'm involved in another university. It's not really a university, but it's more a professional practice called Certainty University. And the reason we started Certainty University for doctors is because doctors step out of their comfort zone and they're no longer certain. They start doing these things and they lose their certainty. When they issue a drug, how many of you have ever taken drugs before? That doctor doesn't say, if you think you want to take them, take them. What do they tell you? Take the drugs, lick the bottle, and get it refilled the rest of your life. They don't, and it's like, and people believe it, right? So you have to have that same certainty, and I guarantee you, people will beat a path to your door. But you've got to believe it first, then you've got to inspire, you inspire that, so.
I'll just echo the previous speaker, because that's what we did. I talked about the technology called scanner, and I took the first scanner outside of Russia in 1996, and now it's pretty well-known technology. So that's exactly what we did. Tell them about the benefits, what's in it for them. Every message that has to go out, every message you put out, what's in it for them? Ask that question. Build a community and tell the story. Stories. In the community will be stories. And the community that's interactive, the community that people can actually interact with each other, Facebook group, Instagram, you name it. Use social media so people can talk to each other, create a forum so people share stories. And that's the best way, because that's not you pushing the message now. The message is already out there and everyone is sharing. And the general structure of the message, that if you, for example, are doing a video introduction, shouldn't be more than 1 minute, but put a clip out. Tell them who you are, tell them what it's going to do for them, and tell them what's to do next. So always call for action in the end.
Thank you, Dr. Irina. And I think the summary of it is that patients sharing their experiences, the patient testimonials, and the awareness that we create, first with our conviction, and then taking it forward, would make the energy medicine grow. And I think we'll have the last two questions.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
Sir at the end there.
Yeah.
Can a mic reach him? And we can have your question.
Excuse me?
Yeah, my
Yes,
name is
sir.
Gunjan. I have a very specific question for Dr. Paul because the question I had in a way was addressed. So when we talk of quantum university, we all talk about our background, and that's why I'm not sharing my background, but we say I have this technology, I can bring homeopathy to you. Isn't it a time now when you look at 25 years out in the future when we should go to the client on what we can do, not just a story from marketing point of view? Example, a suggestion. Our technology can do far better job on autonomous control, nervous systems. If you have an imbalance in ANS, we can fix it much better than the medical community. And that's how we can join hands. So the question is, what prevents us from getting organized by the needs of the clients versus our technologies?
What prevent us? What?
From getting organized. So if I go to, say, quantum university specifically, I go to learn aromatherapy, I go to learn homeopathy. Instead, I would love to see quantum experts go to the university to learn about how to address a client's need for pancreatic imbalance through autonomous intervention. Course does cover, but I'm talking about starting with the outcome, not starting with the technology.
Okay,
You know,
so
you have to understand how education works, okay? Because we're not reinventing university in some way. When you go to medical school, first of all, you have to learn the fundamental. And this is for 2 years. You know, before the doctor has a stethoscope in the neck and work with electrocardiogram and pharmaceutic and so on, he went to a training. So, and sometime I don't know if I answer your question here, but in this energy medicine, people go the other way around. You know, they are attracted by this technology, or they want to use this for helping others, which is okay. But, you know, in the real, not in the real world, but usually, you know, it's the other way around. People get to get the training, and at the end of the training, when start to do the residence, the internship, this is where the doctor find its purpose, or what is like to do the best. And this is where he will, if he is a cardiologist, then invest more in this type of equipment. Or if he's interested in pain, then it's another. So this is how it works. And then there is a separation between products and education. So we have, if we want to be credible, you know, in the domain of quantum medicine, we have also to respect that line. If the quantum university become a university where, you know, people go there and we train first year people on different technology, and it's about, you know, selling products, you know, there will be no more credibility in this university. There is a process. And then, so what we have done at the university to not be conflictual, we have created what we call Summit of Integrative Medicine, where we have different speakers. Some are keynote speakers, some are innovator. Most of them, these are students that have done their own research and they want to share with others. And then we have sponsored those who has, like pharmaceutical company has involved in research or are more, you know, in the domain of technology and how to heal and products, because they need also to be known by the practitioner. So this is how we have drawn the line so we don't, you know, we act professionally and not in conflict of interest. So I don't know if I answer your question, but, you know,
I think Jane would also like to add something to what you're saying, Paul.
yeah, I think your question fits very much, if I've understood it correctly, with the allopathic model, because
you seem to be looking for the therapies or the modalities that work for particular conditions. So what's good for multiple sclerosis, what's good for eczema or asthma or something. But I think the fundamental principle of what we do is that everyone is an individual, and that what we're seeking to do is help them achieve their potential, whatever that is. And so what might work for your eczema wouldn't necessarily work for mine. We might treat my eczema in exactly in a very similar way to her arthritis. There isn't a direct link like there is in allopathic medicine between a condition and the treatment of it.
I just want to add something really quickly. One of the things, I don't think, even though there's some really intelligent people up here, I don't think anybody's going to change the paradigm of the medical world. Okay, so here's how you do it. We do this in America all the time. We have a dinner with the doc. So once you learn your technique and you're really proud of it, you send out invitations to all the medical doctors who might refer to you. This is how my brother-in-law, who was a maxillofacial surgeon, he paid off his student loans in 3 months after college. He had over $200,000 worth of student loans. He did dinners with the docs. He never had to go out and advertise at all because doctors are used to referring to other doctors. So if you want to be a doctor or get referred by doctors, act professional. Set them down at a nice meal, do your little presentation, make sure it's only 20 minutes. Let them come to your clinic, see what you have to offer. They'll do business with people they like. They're not just going to do it because you have a degree. So that dinner with the doc, it works fantastic in America. I'm sure it would work here in India. And then you could change your if you do that enough, you could teach it to 4 other people.
Thank you, Dr. Pota, and Dr. Uma would like to say a few lines.